Hello, Ash. It is so wonderful to see you. And I am talking to you whilst you are now living in Oz, which is really cool. So, how are you doing? And yeah, let's dive into everything Unleash Your Hero. I want to know from you, before you started your journey of Unleash Your Hero, where were you in life?
Yeah, I'm not in a great place, to be just like blunt and put it like it was. I'd been through a really bad breakup. I'd obviously subsequently I'd moved back home with my mom and well, yeah, back to my mom and my stepdad's house basically. Um, it was out of the blue. It completely like just knocked me from sideways. Things at work weren't great, so it was really just a shitty place to be. It was very, very low, very dark. Motivation was lacking. It was just not where I'd pictured myself to be at the age of 20. I think I was 26 at the time. Yeah, it was 2019. So, yeah. So it's been almost 2 and a bit years already of all things Unleash Your Hero.
Yeah. So talk to me about what has happened and what transformations, because I know you've done Unleash Your Hero twice. And the first time round, you managed to manifest a lot. In the second time round, there was a lot that happened during that as well. And you really are somebody that's put in so much work into yourself, and you really take the tools that, Unleash Your Hero has, or anything else that you can get your hands on, and you implement it and embody it so well. So what has the transformation been for you since working on yourself in that capacity?
Yeah, I think it's always going to be ongoing. I mean, I started my Unleash Your Hero on the 7th of February for round 3, just by myself. But I think the first round of Unleash Your Hero that I did, I was in a very different space from round 2. So I suppose round 1, I could kind of like just summarize it as the healing process. So I had a lot to figure out and a lot of healing that had to happen and a lot of like steps to just letting go and finding my own self again with everything that had happened and learning to forgive, and which is not always easy. And I had many fires and many burning honoponopono, and I had like, yeah, it was basically just me discovering myself again, kind of like I suppose you could call it the rising from the ashes phase. And then the round 2 of Mount Hero that I did was kind of where everything just came together a bit better. So I managed to sort out a lot of the things that had been pressing and that was causing chaos in my life that I wasn't able to deal with because I wasn't actually just coping with everyday life. And once I'd managed to do all that and work through all that kind of thing, yeah, I think a lot of what I did manifest and I did sort out, and everything that I had managed to attract into my life, even though it came about in the most random ways and at the most random times, divine timing, I mean. And it wasn't always what I wanted or what I thought I wanted, but there was always something that I asked for or better. So yeah, I think that really does, it's like a true testament to this or better or at this point or more, or basically anything that you could have thought had a limit on it doesn't have a limit on it. And I think I learned that, yeah, after like the first 2 3 kind of ask the universe signs, you kind of just learn to truly detach. And then yeah, that also really kind of changes everything quite a bit. It's not easy to detach, but when you do, things do change. And yeah, I mean, I've really kind of thrived through the chaos. Everything is definitely not picture perfect. I mean, I think I've just added to my toolbox of skills to cope with the chaos better and to understand the chaos better, because the chaos is never going to go away. But I've definitely learned to deal with it a lot better. And just to, like, damn right, ask for what you want and it will come. Doesn't always feel like it, but it does.
Yeah. And I think, following your journey, just to go back on the Ho'oponopono, I remember you said to me once, I was like, I just walked up to the fire and threw my entire journal in because that's how much I needed to burn. And that was such a beautiful moment. And it does seem like you have had a lot of chaos, but it feels like you also now know how to understand the chaos and overcome the chaos and figure out how the chaos is actually working in your favor.
Yeah, I think that's exactly, like, the chaos is always going to be there. It's always going to be something or someone pressing your buttons, or a situation, or something hasn't gone like you planned it, because heck, the last 2 years have not gone the way anybody has planned, I don't think. And it's really kind of just been about me finding like a level-headed inner, like, Buddha kind of whenever things explode, you kind of like just picture yourself, just breathe, it's gonna be fine, you got this. And I think those tools that we were given through the whole journey, and just remembering, like, always from a heart-centered place, and just taking everything not necessarily in your stride, but not letting it break you down completely every single time something is like the slightest little inconvenience, because that was literally which was my existence at one point. Like, stub your toe on the end of the bed, Ashley has a meltdown, or catch too many red lights on the way to work, Ashley has a meltdown, kind of thing. Like, that was my emotional state at one point. It was just so bad. And the healing and everything that had to happen did happen. And everything has just been so much better for that whole process.
Beautiful, beautiful. So if anybody's considering doing Anisha Hero or is on the fence, what advice would you give them, or what can they expect? Just give them something that they can kind of use.
Yeah, I definitely think if somebody were to ask me and they were on the fence, kind of just one sentence that always resonates is going to be that, wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
That the one resounding thing for me through this whole process is that your future self will thank you. I mean, it is a lot, it is a big investment, 100%, but will there be a way? Yes, the universe will always provide. If you're doing it with the right intentions and you're going into it for the right reasons, the universe is always going to provide. It's an investment into yourself, and your future self will always thank you for it. If I hadn't taken that leap 2 years ago, I'd still be crying every time I caught too many red robots on the way to work.
And you'd probably maybe even still be in South Africa. Who knows?
Yeah, probably would be 100%. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, Ash, thank you so much for your time today. Look forward to continuing following your adventures in Oz and your surfing and everything else that you're getting up to that side now. But thank you so much for your time, and we'll definitely be chatting soon.
Pleasure.